Hyundai. And before we get started, I just wanted to mention a few things about a topic you probably read about recently in the news. We had some procedural errors at our Hyundai Kia testing facility, and where we overstated fuel economy ratings for approximately 900,000 vehicles sold between 2010 and 2012, and this was by an average of 3%. We want to sincerely apologize for these errors, and our top priority is to make things right for our customers. We've taken some steps to move that direction. We've quickly put together a program to reimburse owners for their additional fuel costs, both to date and going forward for as long as they own their vehicle. So we're going to take care of our customers. Already we've had a positive response to our customer outreach efforts and to the reimbursement program itself. We're getting the news out to our customers so they know about it and providing a way for them to be taken care of. We'll continue to do everything we can to make sure our customers are aware of the program and exactly what it offers. Now, full details are available at HyundaiMPGinfo.com. That's where customers are being encouraged to go and put some information, be registered, and then they will be in the process to be reimbursed. So we want to make sure that we take our customers, and we're moving that direction. But now, let's move on to the brand new Santa Fe. I'm sure you're excited to learn more about it. The vehicle's been selling very well. The vehicle you're looking at here is the short wheelbase version, and this is known as the Santa Fe Sport. This is from our media event. This is, again, the short wheelbase version, the sport version. You notice the rising belt line gives it a very sporty character. A little review on Santa Fe. We're really proud of the Santa Fe at Hyundai. You'll notice the first generation. You may recognize that. And we really pioneered the CUV segment with unibody design. In this class of vehicle, there were not a lot of unibody-based crossover CUVs, and we really opened up the market with that first generation Santa Fe. The second generation became a little bit more sleek, and it moved into a class-leading position in terms of safety features. And as you can see, the third generation speaks for itself. It's a very sleek design. It's another iteration of our fluidic sculpture design, and the marketplace is responding very well to it. And we've moved to a two-wheelbase strategy, and I'm going to talk more about that. And we've got a unique powertrain strategy as well. So here's a nice side view for you of the two vehicles. Some differentiators you'll notice, again, that rising belt line gives a sportier character to the Santa Fe Sport model, the short wheelbase, and then the elongated greenhouse for the Santa Fe long wheelbase model. Again, just a front three-quarter and rear three-quarter view for you. You'll notice a few design differences in the grille area, wheels, and such to differentiate the two vehicles. And I'll talk in a few minutes about our intended target buyers for the two vehicles. So with this new Santa Fe, and especially the Santa Fe long wheelbase, we have expanded to all CUV segments. The Tucson competes in the subcompact CUV segment, going up against vehicles such as the Escape, the CR-V, CX-5, Compass, fitting well into that group. And then the Santa Fe Sport fits into the meat of the compact CUV segment, going up against the Edge, Equinox, Rogue, RAV4 as well, a little bit of crossover there. And then the long wheelbase, the Santa Fe version, will go up against Explorer, Pathfinder, Pilot, a little bit larger CUVs. In terms of target buyers, and again, this is marketing speak. It's not like you can't be in one of these stages and buy one of the other vehicles, but in our intention, the Tucson is really a pre-family vehicle. It's smaller. People, married or single, having a very active lifestyle. They need some space. They need more than a sedan, but they don't need a really large CUV. Now with the Santa Fe, that's really our core family vehicle. Okay, that's not here. That's the long wheelbase version. That really is for core families. It's 3-row. It's got a lot of capacity. It's got a lot of seating configurations. Very useful for larger families and their core child rearing years. And then the Santa Fe Sport, ideally, it's really targeted at the trailing family area. And again, there's crossover. It could be pre-family as well, of course. And it is it's a nice package right down the middle, fitting a lot of buyers' needs. One of the key development targets for Santa Fe, both the Santa Fe Sport and the Santa Fe, is weight reduction. We used a lot of high tensile steel, and I've got more on that in a minute. We reduced weight by 266 pounds versus the previous generation Santa Fe. This is a lot of weight. For engineers, this is a very admirable accomplishment. And reducing weight has a ton of benefits. It improves fuel economy, it improves acceleration, braking, handling, everything. Weight reduction is always beneficial. And most importantly, we did this without compromising structural rigidity of the vehicle. So the vehicle still remains very stiff, very torsionally rigid, and that has a lot of benefits as well. In terms of the long wheelbase version, the Santa Fe, we actually reduced nearly 400 pounds versus the Vera Cruz, which fit that role in our lineup. So again, down 397 pounds versus the former Vera Cruz model. We're very proud of that. And again, those same benefits would apply to the long wheelbase. So what do we go up against? I alluded to this in the previous slide. These are your competitors for the Santa Fe Sport and the Santa Fe long wheelbase version. The Santa Fe Sport, in terms of interior capacity of the vehicle you're looking at right here, it does have more interior volume than Equinox or Edge. You'll see it at 143.3, and it edges out the Equinox at only 130.5 total interior volume, and even the Edge at 140.6. So again, very competitive in terms of its overall interior volume package. In terms of the engines, this is for the Santa Fe Sport model. We've got two engines available. We've got a 2.4 liter Beta engine family direct injected engine. We also have a 2-liter turbo model. The non-turbo engine puts out 190 horsepower at 6,300 RPM and 181 pound-feet at 4,250. Like many of our Hyundai engines, it runs perfectly fine on regular unleaded fuel. That saves our customers costs at the pump. And these power ratings are at that regular unleaded fuel quality level. You'll also notice the fuel economy is very competitive in segment. Here's some of those competitors. You'll see in terms of power, we're more than competitive. Right down the middle of expected power ratings, both in terms of horsepower and torque. Moving on to the twin-scroll direct-injected turbo. This is one of our most technologically advanced engines. Very sophisticated, very efficient. We're getting a full 264 horsepower out of only 2 liters of displacement. That's a lot of horsepower. It's very usable horsepower. The torque comes on at a very low RPM. It's at only 1,750 RPM. You're generating full torque of 269 pound-feet. So right off as soon as you're off throttle with this vehicle, you've got full torque with which to accelerate. And that carries all the way to 3,000 RPM. So very drivable engine, very easy to get around town, get onto freeway on-ramps wherever your application is. And competitively, you'll notice that many of our direct competitors are using V6 models. We feel that the turbo application is better. It yields better fuel economy results. Just generally, it's just a good package. You'll see that it's very competitive with many V6 competitors. What are some of the technologies of this turbocharged engine? Well, it uses a twin-scroll turbocharger design. It's very efficient, gives very quick response. Turbo lag is greatly reduced, and it produces that low-end torque. As I mentioned, the low-end torque peaks at only 1,750 RPM. That's very low RPM just off of idle. So you've got good usability of that. It also uses an integrated exhaust manifold housing. And what this does is it has very quick heat up time, so it helps with emissions and has very good heat transfer. It's a very innovative turbocharger design. It's also got dual continuously variable valve timing. This helps with power, it helps with emissions, and it helps with fuel economy as well. It has multiple benefits from dual CVVT. And an intercooler with air guide. Basically, this enhances the airflow through the intercooler, make sure it's at a high volume and high velocity, and that has benefits for cooled intake charge. Now, for the long wheelbase, the Santa Fe model, again, you don't see that here right now, but there's going to be a 3.3 liter engine offered for that model. That is the only engine offered on that model. That's also direct injected, so very high tech. Direct injection also yields power benefits in terms of power, in terms of fuel economy and emissions. All three are enhanced. 294 horsepower, 252 pound-feet of torque out of that engine. And again, it yields that power on regular unleaded fuel. In terms of the competition, you'll notice, again, right down the middle of that segment, very competitive, besting several of our competitors, and certainly right in the thick of things. You'll also notice the curb weight is a bit of an advantage for us. Again, that high tensile steel allows us to have a lower curb weight and retain rigidity, and this has benefits in fuel economy, acceleration, handling, you name it. Lower weight is always better, and we're 300 pounds lighter than the all-new Pathfinder even.